Can't be canceled, there's no way that you can stop me. I'm fully independent, there's no label who can drop me. Y'all been starting rumors, let me help you with some. Yeah, y'all can't cancel me. My life is scandal free. There ain't no sponsors taking losses cause the brand is me. My hands are clean, my family and my fans agree. Y'all can't cancel me for facts because you're mad and weak. How's a man say I'm clickbait if he gonna use this face to get clicks on his page? Y'all hypocrites are made. But I ain't tripping about these bullies, it ain't 6th grade. Go ahead and diss me trying to sell a couple mixtapes. I am not playing it safe, I said what I said, it is what it is. I don't care if you mad at me, okay? Go ahead and change the channel. Don't waste your time trying to cancel me, okay? They love me cause they know that I'm it. Say what you want, I guess it is what it is. Haters can talk, but they can't cancel the kid. Go ahead and go on, try and say this is it.
Aaron Tuttle here. It's storm season in Oklahoma, and with that comes torrential rain, high winds, and hail. To protect your home and your family from these threats, the one roofing company you should trust is Ferguson Roof Systems. They've been providing the best in roofing services for nearly half a century. Ferguson is Oklahoma's full-service roofing company, certified with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and a 5-star rating on Google. And with Ferguson now offering Class 4 impact-resistant shingles, now is the time to trust them with your home's roof. Get started today at FergusonRoofSystems.com.
I can't be canceled, there's no way that you can stop me.
Hey everyone, Meteorologist Aaron Tuttle here with you. It is, what time is it? About 9:35. So thanks for joining me here for tonight. This is Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. It's time to get acclimated back to what's going to happen for our upcoming rest of the week into our holiday weekend. So I'm glad you joined. We're going to talk about the threat of severe weather to see if it has returned and is rearing its ugly head. Jim, I see you checking on YouTube. So he says, glad you got your plumbing problems fixed. Yes. Didn't get a chance, look at my post here below my live broadcast on my Facebook page, and you will see what I had. What's the problem with the pressure regulator, which I kind of had, it made sense at the time, but I played with it and I couldn't get it to do anything different. But when Robbie McGee came out, he said, yeah, those things, when they fail, they just fail. So there's no fixing them or anything. So he went right to the source, man, and then hooked me up so I now can have running water in the house. I couldn't do more than one faucet at a time. It was so frustrating. Otherwise, the whole house would shake. I mean, every wall, every pipe. I mean, it was violent. Like I was going to blow leaks everywhere. That's a freaky thing. So anyway, yeah, see you guys comment on tonight's, it's turning into a poll. It's really not supposed to be a poll. It's just you vote for your favorite meteorologist, but it was just True Sky Credit Union was putting it together, and I actually did a live broadcast with them about 3 years ago or something like that. Did a severe weather presentation. So great group over there, but so they included me in the poll of which is your favorite Oklahoma City meteorologist. So I'll link that on my Facebook wall, and you guys went nuts with it, which is fun. You went viral. One of you out there is going to win $50. Believe it or not, I don't know if you guys knew that, but you're actually going to win $50. Somebody is, just for commenting on there or liking, I think, a photo. So anyway, so if you want to comment on that, you can head on over to their Facebook page. Its link is on my wall. So enough with the formalities. Let's get down to the details, right? What is going to happen here? Well, let's talk about the, let's do this first, the radar. So there are some storms out here in the southern Texas panhandle, and these will work their way to the east tonight and move into southwest Oklahoma late tonight into tomorrow morning, and then move through in southern Oklahoma and southeast Oklahoma. We'll talk about that as well. Some severe weather, though, out here at this hour. No tornadoes, but definitely some severe thunderstorms. Earlier today, man, there were a lot of tornadoes out here across parts of western, southwestern Kansas, and also up here in northwestern Kansas, and some damage there done too. I had retweeted Jeff Petrosky, a friend of mine, his live storm chase as he was chasing a tornado in real time. The feed wasn't so great, as far as the data is concerned. He didn't have a good cell phone tower, so it was kind of choppy, but you could make it out every now and then and get pieces of the feed, and that was quite a sight to see. So here's a look at the rainfall amounts here for today. Yes, it did rain here in Oklahoma, roughly on the I-35 corridor and points east. Favorite area here wasn't too far from the Oklahoma City Metro, basically the east side of town. up to about Shawnee is where the hot spot was for up to about almost an inch of rainfall in some of these areas. Otherwise, not a whole lot far northeast, not a whole lot far west and northwest Oklahoma, but we've got more rain coming if you're wanting it. Here's a look at the severe weather threat from the Storm Prediction Center over the next couple of days. It's highlighted, of course, we get through today, so that's over with. And then on Tuesday, it's got a little stuff up here to our north and west, but it doesn't show much for the body of Oklahoma. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. Wednesday, though, it's drawing a little bit better marginal risk out here in the Panhandle, and then more of a slide up here in northern parts of the plains. Could be a few tornadoes up here on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, you do see a little drawing already. So they're starting to get some confidence here for the pattern toward the end of the week. If you read my blog last night or this morning, you already know the reason for this. And so that's setting up nicely as far as the potential for severe storms. And then they'll detail the later outlook as we go through time. Now, the Weather Service here in Norman has highlighted Thursday as potential for severe weather and a slight risk that they'll keep checking back on. But you're going, what about Tuesday? Tuesday, I think, might be a sleeper event. Right now, the Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center favors far western northwest Oklahoma. I don't have a problem with that. But we might have to have a little mini area across this region of the state as well. And so that would be my secondary risk. It's a conditional risk. It's not huge. It's not overly impressive, but the signal is there and it's weak, but it's there. And if it's there, then I got to talk about it. So don't be surprised if we start to see some severe storms bubble up here in parts of central Oklahoma, especially probably along and east of I-35. I don't think west of 35. It'll have time to go, but we're going to take a look at the radar animation from the model data and see how things ought to progress. So this is looking at the tech model. I like this model during severe weather. Shows that cluster of storms we talked about. I showed you on radar down here in southwestern Oklahoma, approaching around the midnight hour. Now you can see how those will kind of slowly fall apart as they roll through the Red River Valley into the early morning hours. You do see some new thunderstorms develop and move into northeast Texas, across the river, in the southeastern quadrant of Oklahoma. So some of this does include at least the southeast sides of Oklahoma City Metro. By daybreak tomorrow, so a little bit of rain around parts of central and eastern Oklahoma. But watch this little region out here. And what I'm going to do is, that decaying storm system leaves behind a little mini area of low pressure. It's called a mesoscale convective vortex. So there's an area of spin in the atmosphere. So as we go through time, watch what happens as we bubble up into some daytime heating. You see that right there? So that is some storms trying to get going underneath that area of low pressure right here across central Oklahoma. And this is, the timeline is right at noon. So it's at 12 o'clock. Now, the storms aren't too intense there, but as we head from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, they quickly do become intense. And it's really, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom in on this picture because it is hard to see, and this will make it a little easier for you. All right, but this little red track you see here, these are helicity tracks. Helicity track stands for rotation of the storm, and depending on the environment, enough rotation can either lead to large hail or can be tornadoes. In this case, we have a threat of both. So that's why I'm concerned. If this MCV turns out, it was showing up in the model data last night, if it turns out, the track stays the same, the timing stays the same, or even a little later, our ability to potentially see a tornado or two out of this event can unfold quickly and be, like I said, be a sleeper event where nobody's really talking about it or paying much attention. So don't be surprised if it occurs. I'll be covering, of course, if a storm like that were to happen. But anyway, so that's a look here in central Oklahoma. That's Oklahoma through Norman, more areas where that starts to bubble up. As we head into further from there, another hour, 2 hours, we head into 4 o'clock. It's moving toward the Tulsa area, points southward into eastern Oklahoma along I-40. So there is a little sweet window there where conditions are favorable. And what happens is MCVs create spin in the atmosphere. It creates like a mini area of shear. And that's what you need to get the storms to go. The other thing, we have a couple things that I think can play a factor in this. So that was just the radar view. What I want to show you also is what we call the significant tornado parameter and the supercell composite parameter, just to show you that it is a very small region we're working with, very tight. You see that right there? That's right over Oklahoma County and points surrounding during the early part of the afternoon. So the timing is very critical. If some of the ingredients come in a little late, as that MCV moves by, it lessens the threat of any severe weather with that associated disturbance. If, however, it comes just a little slower, gives more time for these ingredients to come in, you got that real small area, and it's right over the central part of the state. All right, what also we have in the evening hours through 7, 8, 9 o'clock, you have a secondary region where we've got a little bit of conditions here. We could see a tornado in northern and northwestern Oklahoma with some storms that come out of the Kansas and northwest Oklahoma region around the evening hours. So that is another condition. What do you have the hail? Oh, let's see, where was that? Where is the hail? Here it is. Here's the hail. So it did show some hail tracks. These are about 2 inches in diameter. Some of the models indicate hail may be larger than that up here in northwest Oklahoma with the parameters in place. But that's something I'll be watching for tomorrow afternoon during the earlier part of the day. So it's not a late day event like it normally is. It's more of in the middle of the line time frame. Now, let's see here. What do I want to show you? There's so much to show you, and I got so little time. So we're just going to kind of jump to the case here because I can show you. This is kind of neat. It shows up really well in the lapse rates of where this disturbance is. And the lapse rates, the reason why it shows up because it stabilizes the air around it. Think of it like a mini hurricane. All right, you see the eye wall right here? So again, you have to picture storms in this area that are decaying, but the eye, or the center of it, the MCV, the center of low pressure, continues to move slowly to the north and east. You see how it kind of keeps trucking on into eastern, or in the central Oklahoma by really lunchtime. So this is the, what we guess we could call it, it's not really an upper disturbance, it's more of a lower level to mid-level disturbance, but it is an area of interest. And so that is what would be the kicker, because if I show you a forecast sounding for this region, and let me back it up here. Let's just pick this spot here. I just picked a random spot on the map for the forecast sounding. And the main thing I want to point out here, without getting too specifics, is tomorrow there is not going to be a cap. All right, so there's no lid in the atmosphere. There's no warm temperature nudge out here at 850 millibars to suppress thunderstorm development. So all we need is a baby kicker, and that MCV could be the baby kicker. And with the enhanced shear that it provides in that environment, you can end up with a potential tornado when that does occur. So, and the models do eventually kind of catch on to that idea here of the NAM model with the tornado output. It's not a, Katie bar the doors tornado profile signature, but it is adequate and it can happen. So there you go. My forecast officially is for a couple of severe thunderstorms to fire up here in central Oklahoma, potential for a tornado or two and some large hail. All right, so that's during the early to middle part of the afternoon. So let me go back here. I'm going to show you how, oh, you know what? No, let's do this one. Let's go into the body of the state, get you a close-up view on how the rest of these storms look as you plan your day. So we talked about, again, in the morning, showers along the Red River, southeast Oklahoma, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, so you kind of get the idea. Kind of quiet for a little bit toward middle to late morning, but I can't rule out a couple of pop-up isolated stuff out here in eastern Oklahoma. As we head into the noon hour, this model is not doing a very good job, by the way, at popping up new storm development. Remember, the MCV is right in our area here over central Oklahoma. It's not really generating much. So this model I disagree with. I like the tech model better. But we'll skip past that weakness and we'll focus in northwest Oklahoma because this still should happen out here. So some storms moving in from southwestern Kansas and central Kansas and northwestern Oklahoma. And these storms out here will be severe, some large hail with them, potentially some damaging winds anytime you get into May and June. But they'll still continue out here in the Panhandle area. This is about 8 o'clock in the evening. So quiet here in central Oklahoma after that first round moves through mid-afternoon. So if you have any plans tomorrow evening, it should be okay. And as we head into the 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock hour, that's when things start to kind of progress in closer to us from western Oklahoma and northern Oklahoma. So any of these storms could be severe during the evening hours. And yes, like I mentioned, there could be a couple of tornadoes at some point associated with this activity up here in northern or northwestern Oklahoma as this whole system kind of moves on through during the overnight hours tomorrow night. And then kind of diminishes a little bit as it works its way into southeastern Oklahoma by daybreak on Wednesday. All right, so the rest of Wednesday, quiet. And I had that in the blog because I thought Wednesday would be a mostly quiet day. As we head into Thursday, this model only goes to about Thursday morning. It's quiet in the morning, but the setup is for Thursday afternoon. So we'll have to look at a different model for that just to get an idea. And it should show you northwestern. Yeah, there's northwestern Oklahoma. So Here we go. So there's 7 p.m., 8 p.m. or 10 p.m., and there's midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning. So Thursday looks like a northwest Oklahoma day for some severe storms, and those would roll southward into the Oklahoma City metro areas. We head into midnight and then out of the body of the state by Friday morning. So that's round one. We'll have to see what happens potentially for Friday for another round of severe weather. But again, the atmosphere is changing a little bit in the jet stream briefly for that small window of time to give us a shot at least some severe weather. With typical, again, is hail and wind. And I don't talk about tornado threat beyond 48 hours because too much can change. Let's just get through tomorrow and see how tomorrow looks, right? All right, so let me see. Temperature-wise, it's kind of been the same, hasn't changed much. We're looking at mid-80s, so a little warmer for Wednesday and Thursday due to the more quiet nature of the atmosphere. And then with the clouds and rain or whatever that happens for Thursday night and Friday, a little cooler for there on into the weekend. Daytime highs hugging around 80, into the 70s after that, so a little cooler. What does that indicate? That indicates we've seen one of these guys move through, right? Anytime you get it back into the 70s this time of the year, it means a cold front's come through. So it's not a very strong one, but it's enough to knock temperatures down a few degrees, and that takes you, that's toward the end of our Memorial Day weekend. All right, so last thing we'll talk about is Memorial Day weekend itself when it comes to storms. So we're going to go back to our longer range models to get the idea as to whether or not the pattern still looks relatively dry. Let's put it that way. All right, and I have not seen any of this today. Been busy, so we're gonna look at it together live. So bear with me if we do this, a little slow. So here's Saturday morning, some storms down southern Oklahoma. Okay, afternoon, quiet. I like it. Sunday, quiet. I like it. If you live out in the Texas Panhandle, some storms way out there. So what about Monday? Oh, those storms move through Sunday night, looks like. So that's a little bit of a change into Monday morning and then kind of fall apart slowly throughout the day. And then it looks like an outflow boundary will probably be residual and these storms will fire up along it. Plus, we also, depending on the timing of this could also be cold front induced, so it might have a couple of things going on. But it looks like some storms then into Monday. So it's Monday itself. So this is just based off just the European model. And then it's like a little unsettled for a couple of 24-hour period after that to the following early part of June. Okay, let me see what the American model says. I was really hoping for a pure, dry holiday weekend, but 2 out of 3 days isn't bad, right? And on my blog, it did say mostly dry. Didn't guarantee 100% dry. But that's not bad, really. Especially this time of the year, because usually we don't get off that scot-free. Okay, so let's see. Here's the American model's going to be, oh, what a mess. It's got a cluster that comes in from Kansas through Saturday morning. All right. It eventually gets out of here late morning. So Saturday's not as nice all day as the European was. In other words, it's a little slower at clearing things out, but still it does clear it out. All right, and then it tries to pop up some isolated storms with any outflow boundaries on Saturday. That's typical this time of year, so that can be on the table, but it's not a widespread deal, which means most of us stay dry. Let's see, on Saturday night, looks like some evening storms in southwest Oklahoma that come out of Texas. And then on Sunday, a couple decaying showers that come in from Kansas, but pass by with some clouds. Otherwise, not a big deal there, no big storm system. And then Sunday night, 10 o'clock, a little bit of a storm system that falls apart. And then Monday, where are we? Still mostly dry. I'm telling you, I'm hoping for mostly dry. It's the models are still having a tough time with the extended pattern because we're right on the edge of the jet stream. And so it doesn't take much to try to get something to go. But I'd like to promise you 3 days of sun and no rain, but I can't do it. But I'm close to it. Not that I'm mostly dry, and mostly lots of sun, and mostly storm free. That's about all I can do for you for now. But today's only Monday. Come on, we got a few days to work that out. So that is the latest. That's what I've got for you. I hope that was helpful, educational. Thanks for staying with me, and thanks for all the nice, positive comments, by the way, that you guys left on that Facebook post. That really does make me feel warm inside, just so you know, if you want me to get all mushy. I've been doing this since 2010, just on Facebook alone is when I started. Okay, I left TV 2007 in October, on my birthday actually, So I left in October, and I joined the federal government and worked there because I got tired of TV, honestly. You guys see TV. If what you think is a zoo from your vantage point, wait till you work inside the industry. Whoa. Anyway, so I had enough of that clown show. So I got out and took a sane job. Thank God. It saved my sanity. But I missed doing the forecast part, right? So then I got back on Facebook 3 years later. I started a page, and it went nuts. You guys loved it. You followed, you shared, all that kind of stuff. So it's all organic. And then after a few years, I did some storm chasing, in forecasts. That's kind of what I focused on. And then I got tired of storm chasing. Plus, almost died storm chasing. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with that. I'm getting older, and I want to shift gears now and develop this in more of a business look to where I'm actually providing content differently and more professional oriented, and do live severe weather coverage like I would do back in the day on TV. So then I started the whole streaming platform game, and I look back at some of my old stuff, I'm just like, oh, cringeworthy, right? But that's me being very critical of myself. But that's good, because it means I make it better with more resources over time. And so that's where we are today, where I'm able to broadcast on 4 different platforms at once, and then show you great graphics and kind of tailor this to where it seems to fit this market very well, which is low anxiety, hype free. Just give me the pure bone science. You don't have to scare me. You don't have to jump up and down and scream a lot of fun words to get me to pay attention. So I took what this market desperately needed, which was a more calm, sane approach to weather, and then kind of teach you a little behind the scenes as to why things do what they do. And so that seems to have resonated tremendously in all of your comments. That was the takeaway home. I was scanning through all the comments, and I was just like, okay, so I'm doing the right thing, right? In other words, I just kind of do things how I'd like to do them, and then see how you guys respond. And it seems to be working out really well, because you keep responding very positively. And I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the negative people that come in there, because A, they don't follow me, or they would know not to say what they say. And then B, a lot of people are just haters because they're angry at life because of whatever's in their system. So you have to kind of ignore that. And then some just listen to what other people say and then regurgitate it, which again puts them in a category of they're not worth me listening to or focusing on my energy. It's negative energy. It's pointless. So those I throw away. But all the positive or constructive criticism, maybe like you want something done better, or me to add something to it, or maybe shorten this or extend that, I take all those into account, and I've molded into this formula to continue forward, to giving you guys more of what you want and need. So that's kind of where we are today. So it's kind of was the consensus of those comments. I just kind of want to touch base briefly on that history of how we got to where we are, where enough of you felt helped in that fashion to voice your opinion in a positive way. So I'm very grateful for that. So that's my mushy stuff. All right, listen. I will. By the way, all the stars tonight on Facebook. I didn't want to leave you guys out. I see you. I always check, and I love when I see the stars and your comments. I wish I could answer every comment, every question. In the old days, I used to be able to try and do that, but because I push forward into other things and of how I do things, it creates less and less time for every comment. But I try to do as many as I can. I do see what you have to say. So if you miss me on a broadcast, try again, either in the same broadcast or on another one. You can always shoot me an email. You can send me a DM. I try to get to as many people as I can, time permitting. I'm only one man, but I'm having Jody help me on a lot of this stuff. So hopefully that can bring down my workload on this stuff, so she doesn't kill me. But let's see what else real quick. Oh, for those of you folks that are late, you'll have to obviously watch the replay, but you can at least fast forward to the part that you're interested in. But I can give you a really quick recap, and then we got to go, which was a little weak disturbance comes in the state tomorrow from southwest Oklahoma, moves northeast during the day. It's in central Oklahoma around lunchtime. Storm should erupt along the leading edge of that disturbance, and there's an enhanced wind shear along it. It's an uncapped atmosphere, so it's a low probability event but a high impact event should it occur. So in other words, the potential is there for some large hail, 2 inches probably in diameter, and then a couple of tornadoes. All right. So that's what's on the docket for tomorrow. So if it happens, don't be surprised. If it doesn't happen, remember, low probability event. It's not like I'm screaming, everybody run for cover right now. I'm confident enough to talk about it, but I'm not confident enough to guarantee it. All right, so I'm in the middle. But we'll see some storms in northwest Oklahoma, and they'll move southward during the evening hours. So western northwest Oklahoma may see a tornado or two, and also some hail and maybe a little wind with those. That takes care of Tuesday. Wednesday's mostly quiet. Thursday storms in the late afternoon, evening, up north and west. Then those will move southward overnight. Didn't really pay much attention to Friday. The weekend is still wishy-washy, mostly dry, and temperatures about what they've been. 60s at night and right around 80 or so during the day. That's your quick and dirty summary if you just joined in late. All right, that's it for me. You guys have a great night. Thanks again for your time, your love, your support. If you like what I do on the creative and content side, be sure to join my Facebook fan subscriptions. There's Subscribe Star, there's Patreon. I set all those up in case you like one platform over another. Doesn't matter to me which one ever you're joining, whichever you're comfortable with. I know everybody has kind of different affiliations or political leanings one way or the other, and so because they might like one, they don't like the other, that's fine. I'm trying to reach all of you. I don't care what your political affiliation is. So if you like one particular platform or the other, just sign up for it. And that goes with social media. Same thing with that. So I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and then Gab as well. And then Gab's going to be launching live TV here soon. So I'll be able to broadcast live on Gab. That's probably going to be, they were hoping at the end of the spring, but that didn't happen. So we're probably going to be midsummer by the time that happens. But it'll be up and running, and I'll take advantage of that as well to reach more of you on that platform. All right, I am out of time. You guys have a great night. Sleep well. And I'll check with you tomorrow probably around lunchtime, and we'll see how the storms look, and we'll go from there. All right, take care, everybody.